In the heart of the golden kingdom of Amardale lived Princess Elira, known throughout the land not just for her beauty, but for her tenderness. From the time she was a child, she had been drawn to the forgotten corners of the world, old forests, quiet rivers, and lonely paths. She found peace in nature, a calm that the castle walls could never offer. Despite her royal upbringing, Elira often felt alone. Surrounded by servants and nobles who only saw her crown, she longed for something real, something honest. So, whenever she could escape the court, she wandered into the woods, letting her soul breathe among the trees. One cool autumn afternoon, as she followed a narrow deer trail deeper than ever before, a soft hiss stopped her in her tracks. Lying beneath a gnarled oak was a snake, its emerald scales dull and smeared with blood. One of its eyes was swollen shut, and its breathing was shallow. Fear gripped her chest for a moment. Her heart pounded. But then, as she met the creature's single clear eye, she saw not menace but pain. Her voice trembled. "You're hurt." Without thinking, she knelt beside it, tearing a strip from her gown to bandage its wound. "It's all right. You're not alone." Cradling the snake carefully, she brought it back to her private garden, where no one but the moonlight ever watched. There, she cleaned his wounds every day, whispering to him as though he could understand. She named him Sorin, a name she had once dreamed of in her sleep and never forgotten. Days passed, then weeks. She poured her heart into his care. Sometimes she would cry beside him, telling him things she had never told a soul. How her parents expected her to marry a prince she didn't love. How she felt trapped by a crown made of duty. Saurin would watch her silently, blinking slowly, his presence oddly comforting. One evening, as the stars blinked awake, Elira sat beside Saurin with tears slipping silently down her cheeks. "I don't know who I am anymore," she whispered. "Everyone sees a princess. No one sees me." Suddenly, a soft light shimmered in the garden. Elira gasped as Saurin began to glow, his body lifting gently off the ground. His scales flashed like jewels in moonlight. And then he spoke. "Elira," the snake said, his voice warm and steady, "you have given more than kindness. You have given me your truth." Elira stumbled back, eyes wide with disbelief. "You can talk?" Saurin bowed his head. "I am Kaelen, Prince of the Eastern Isles. Long ago, I was cursed by a sorcerer I defied. Only a heart pure enough to help me without asking anything in return could break it." Tears welled in her eyes again, this time from awe, not sorrow. "But I'm no hero," she whispered. "You are," Kaelen said, as his form shifted, his serpent body unraveling into that of a tall, graceful man. His eyes were still emerald, but now filled with a depth of emotion that mirrored her own. "You saved me. Not with sword or magic, but with love." For the first time in a long while, Elira smiled through her tears. Her heart, which had long felt like a bird in a cage, began to flutter with new hope. Kaelen stayed in Amardale, walking with her in the gardens, laughing under the stars. They shared their dreams, their fears, and their scars. Elira, for once, felt seen not as a princess, but as herself. In time, love bloomed, not out of duty, but out of understanding. When Kaelen asked her to stand by his side as queen, not because he was a prince, not because he was once a serpent, but because he had listened just as she had once listened to him. Their wedding was a celebration, not only of two hearts, but of two souls who had found each other in a world that had forgotten how to see the beauty beneath the surface. And so, The tale of Elira and the Serpent Prince lived on not as a fairy tale of magic, but as a story of healing, honesty, and the power of being truly seen.